to Diesel Diaries, where we talk all things trucking and help you navigate the industry one conversation at a time. I am your host, Lori McNaughton, Director of Operations for our Specialized Division. Today, my guest, I'm super excited about, Sam. Welcome.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. It's going to be fun. You've been with ATS for
11 years.
11 years, which is super crazy. And today you're an operations manager within the Specialized Division. Awesome.
I am. You passed.
Thanks.
Good job.
Chris, you're up.
Yes, ma'am.
You've also been here for a really long time.
Yeah, I started
than
in
us.
2010.
2010.
Yes, I
Yeah.
took a little bit of a break for last winter, but I am back. And so 14 years.
And what are you doing now?
And now I work in specialized operations support. So I have a support role at ATS. So I help a lot of drivers and a lot of driver managers in my role. So
And you're really
it's a
good at it,
very
too.
fun job.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Well,
I'm
thank
super
you for
excited.
having us.
So, a little tidbit for our listeners. Chris knows a lot of things about a lot of things that don't necessarily matter.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, if you ever want to play trivia or something,
Pick me, pick me.
she's your girl.
Yes.
Okay, getting right into it. National fuel average this week, 355.
It's a little high.
That's crap.
Yeah.
I can like it.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the average. I wonder what the highest.
Yeah.
You know?
Me too.
Yeah. Or who has the lowest?
That's a good question.
We might have to start
Right?
looking and sharing that information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there an app like Gas Buddy or something you can use to
Of
find?
course you would know.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think ATS actually has an
I
app
think
for
so.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an app for that.
Absolutely.
There is always
Isn't
an app
that
for
like a slogan?
Yeah.
Or something?
There's an app for that.
There's an app for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Just Google it.
So regular, like unleaded, I paid $2.99 on Monday.
Oh, it's $2.85.
I paid $2.75 this morning.
Oh.
Shut
Yes.
I'm
It was
angry about
glorious.
it. So I don't know how it came in the conversation, but my husband asked where I stopped for fuel, and I told him, and he's like, "They still at $2.99," and he was all like, had an attitude about it, and I was like, "Yeah," and he said he paid $2.89 or $2.85, I can't remember which, in St. Augusta.
So he beat.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
It's $2.85.
He wins.
I was pretty
Holiday.
frustrated because I was like, flirting with the
Yeah.
fuel light.
Yeah.
So I needed a lot of it.
Yeah, that was me this morning.
Yeah.
Gas
Do you have
light
a
came on.
Costco card?
No.
Because
Well,
Costco has cheap gas too.
of
That's
course
too
they
far
do,
away.
but it's not en route.
Yeah.
No.
You'll
That
spend the
reminds me-
extra 15 cents to go over there,
Yeah,
put your
yeah,
gas
yeah.
on, and then come back.
That totally reminds me of my dad. That's something he would do. He'd drive to like the next town.
Right?
To get
Cheap gas.
Because it's cheaper.
Even though he spends the same amount going.
He has nothing else to do there.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
get
you
gas.
know, yeah. And then he gets to see how the fields are and how everybody,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Watch
and
the
if you're
corn
riding
grow.
with him,
Yes.
he's like, oh, and the Jensens live there, and that's the
Right.
Kirchels. And, yeah.
Gotta love farmers.
Okay. So we are in October.
Yes. Spooky season.
Yes. Halloween. Fall. Vests. And
Cold weather.
Cold weather. Love
yeah.
it.
Do you?
Yeah. It's my favorite time of
I
year.
like it hot.
Yeah, me too.
No.
But I do love the pretty colors.
Yes. Favorite time of year.
And I do love Halloween.
Yes.
And I love candy.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, I know. I got a soft spot.
Yes.
So, most popular Halloween candy.
Ooh. Why? Why did it change? M&Ms?
Well, first of all, it went from M&Ms to or it was Reese's and now M&Ms.
it should still be Reese's.
It really should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the M&M. Like, I don't want a plain M&M.
No. Peanut butter.
Peanut
Which
butter,
is why Reese's should be
peanut,
first.
or almond.
Oh, almonds are good.
Yeah.
Just go to Vicky's drawer. She has plenty
Right.
of
know.
M&Ms.
Every once in a
Right.
while, you got to make a deposit so she
Yep.
can restock. But I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Yes. No, I would. Yeah. Reese's should always be on top.
So if it could be any candy, like your favorite candy, is it still Reese's?
Yes.
Really?
Or Milky Way.
I love me a Milky Way.
Yeah.
I know. I found one
I'm
yesterday.
a salted nut girl.
What?
Oh,
a salted nut roll?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Minnesota
That's
girl,
not
they
candy.
make them here.
I know.
Oh, I love them.
I mean, they're good, but there's no way it's at
not
the
at the
top.
top.
Oh, by
It's not even in the
far.
top 5.
No. Or 10.
Yeah. I don't get
I
them very
really
often.
have to like pencil that out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it'd make 10, but it definitely ain't making 5. Milky Way, you got that like caramel and
They're good too.
is it nougat
I
or
don't even-
nugget?
Yeah, I don't know what that
Nougat?
is.
Goodness, I don't know what it is
I would
either,
say
but it's
nougat,
good.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
You know what
goodness.
else makes it for me?
What?
Rolos.
Anything caramel.
100 grand.
Anything
100
caramel.
grand.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Those are
so
delicious.
good.
Yep.
Yeah. Those
Those are good too.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm not a black licorice girl. I feel
No.
like that.
What?
Some people, it's like black licorice is the one candy where either you love it or you hate it. There's like no in
and
between people that are
85%
like, yeah.
hate it.
No, it's got to be like 95%.
I was going to go there, but I was trying to be generous.
yeah.
No,
Well, that's very nice
Who
of you.
invented it? It's just like
Sometimes.
ugh.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Sorry
so
to those that
speaking
did.
of like
Right?
disgusting
Yeah.
Halloween candy corn.
No,
I
love
like it.
candy corn.
You guys are both so disappointing
You know,
right now.
when you mix it with the peanuts,
Yeah.
it tasted like a salted
And
nut roll.
M&Ms. You can mix it with
Yes.
M&Ms, just like a little
No.
goodie pack. It's like a
it
trail
tastes
mix.
like
Yes.
wet chalk. Sweet wet chalk.
No.
It's
You just got to
disgusting.
get past the first layer, and then it's okay.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
really
I can't
good.
even believe it.
There's
I thought
worse
I knew you
candy
guys.
out
You're
there.
outnumbered.
Yeah.
Is there? I mean,
Well,
it's,
black licorice.
yes,
Black
it's not my
licorice.
favorite,
Yeah.
but it's not bad.
No, it's pretty
No.
bad.
When they
you
put them in
know-
the little pumpkins, those are
Yes.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. They have pumpkin shapes.
Yeah. The Indian corn, you can get the chocolatey
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. That,
Yeah.
that little
Live a
variety.
little, Lori.
You know what a
little.
lot of people dislike, but I love, and I have no idea what it's even called, but I know if you go to the Fleet this time of year, you can get it in a bag.
Oh.
And they are in the black and orange wrappers. They're like this, I don't even know, toffee
I think I know
or
what you're
taffy type consistency. And there's like peanut butter in the middle, like nutty peanut butter.
I don't think I've had
I don't think I've had those
Fleet
either.
Farm does
What?
have a
Come
lot
on.
of good
the
big
black
stuff,
and
though.
orange wrap, like it's 2 colors and they're solid wrappers. You either get a black one or an orange one.
Oh, yeah. They're like a peanut butter candy with the stuff
Girl.
in there. Yeah. No. I know what you're talking about, but I don't think those are the worst.
Oh, I love those
Yeah.
things.
I would say they're not too bad.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Fleet Farm does have a lot of good candies, though.
I love the Fleet.
I
I
know.
tell you what.
Those chocolate covered peanuts are really good.
Right?
Yeah, I do like
I could eat them by the
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah. And I same thing. I don't know what they are, but they're in the shape of like a Tootsie Roll. And they have Linda always used to buy these things. I don't know if she still does. But they're like a Tootsie Roll, but they're like a toffee flavor or they're soft like a Tootsie Roll.
Oh, yeah. They had
They're
like that
different.
tin-foily,
Yeah.
silvery wrapper
Yep.
on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. They still make
don't
those.
know.
I
We'll
don't
have to
know.
ask
Of course
Linda
they
when
do.
we
They're
get back.
delicious.
That's probably made by the same company that makes that stuff at Christmas that has the hard candies with the loopy loop, or you get the cinnamon candies, just that stuff your grandma would have in the bowl.
Yeah.
And you'd take
Before
one
church,
piece and all 50
after
pieces
church.
would come with
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Because they've been sitting there since last
This last year, some cat hair on it.
I'm passing on the peppermint candy.
Yes,
Oh,
don't need
good
any
Lord.
butterscotch discs.
Good
no.
Those are the best.
Bottom of the purse.
You old lady.
Butterworths. She would always give them to us
Yes.
at church to make us stop
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah. My dad was a mint guy in church, like the Lions. I don't know. It was just like a foil tube, like certs used to be.
Oh, sure.
But they
Yeah.
came from the Lions
Those were good.
thing. Anyway,
Yeah.
who knew there was so much to say about candy?
Absolutely.
There's a lot.
Everybody
I
does.
know.
Yeah. That's
I
a
love it.
big
It's a great
industry. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of all this candy, cost of a candy bar at a truck stop. Any idea? What's your guess?
$1.50.
$2.20.
Both of you are spending too much on candy. You're both wrong. It's even more than that. It's like $2.50, $2.49.
Don't
For
they
one
have the deals
candy
of getting
bar?
2-for-1s though?
Probably, but only if you buy the king size, and then it's not
Oh, yeah.
$2.49. It's $3.
Or you put in 100 gallons of
69.
gas.
And you never
Yeah.
you never buy one candy bar. I'm just saying because you have multiple kids in there and you have to buy one for each one.
Yeah.
So those 2-for-1s actually really help.
You're probably not bringing the family on the truck, though. So,
Yeah, that's always a mistake when
Yeah.
I do.
yeah,
It's
not a
expensive.
good idea.
No.
Yeah.
So, I am a fan of like the dollar store and even Walmart. They do like the fun size candy bars, and you get like 8 of them.
Oh, the
Yeah.
packs.
Yeah, and
Those
you
are
can
nice.
get them, for an okay price. It's probably the same as a single at a truck stop.
Right.
Couple bucks.
It's probably
Yeah.
the same size, but you get more, so you feel like you have more. There's all those
Yeah.
little ones.
You're probably right.
You feel better about eating
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. I feel less bad about having 2, that's for sure.
They're small.
Yep.
Absolutely. They're small. They don't count.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to have 2
Right.
every time.
Costumes. Halloween
Ew.
costumes.
Yeah.
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 What do you think those run?
I haven't bought mine yet this year for my kids.
Really?
I know.
Halloween's next week.
I'm
Are we
aware.
talking kids
I'm
or
aware.
adults?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, I don't.
I bet they're like,
Can be a dog costume if you want it,
it
to
depends on how
Yeah.
fancy you want to get, but I bet they're anywhere between 35 and 45.
be. Yeah, that's probably
Yeah, I would say.
that's a pretty good guess. What we found on the interwebs, and if it's on the
Google's not
interwebs, it's true. 20 to $100. I don't know where you're finding a $20 costume.
Clearance section from you buy them after Halloween's over
Goodwill.
for next
Sure.
year, but then your kid won't want to wear them because
Yeah.
that's just not
Yeah,
what they're
it's
into
not
anymore.
Cool anymore.
Yeah. Go to Goodwill. Make your own.
Oh,
Yeah,
not a bad idea.
Right?
sure.
I'm not crafty enough to make my
No.
own.
I'm not very
No.
crafty either. I try to be.
I don't.
I mean, not necessarily just for Halloween, but
Yeah.
at random. It's just like, I want to do something crafty today.
Yeah. Not crafty.
No.
I'll buy
I don't
the
even try.
supplies and then never do it.
Yeah.
I buy it made already.
Yeah.
By time you get home from the store, you're like, okay, I'm over it.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
spent
Lost interest.
It
It was a
Spent
good
all this
thought.
time. Yeah.
But yes.
Maybe next weekend.
No.
Yeah, and then I forget
Never
where
happens.
I put it. Or I forget I even bought it. Yeah.
Yes.
I was cleaning out my garage, I don't know, last weekend before, I can't remember, it doesn't matter. And my husband found this bag on a shelf and was tied shut, and he's like, what is this? And we opened it up, and it's like 2 years old.
God.
It was at the end of the season. I had bought these little like oil lantern things. Yeah, they were like $2 a piece on clearance. They still had the stickers on them. I remember purchasing them after seeing them, and they're really cool. I still like them, so that's good.
Are they still in the bag?
They're still in the bag.
You didn't take them out.
They went back on the shelf.
For another 2 years.
Well, hopefully I'll remember come spring.
Well, the funny thing is when you do remember them, you're not going to find them.
Oh, for sure.
That happened to me the
Yeah.
other day. I had Halloween decorations. I put them somewhere. I can't find them, so I had to go buy new stuff.
Yeah.
I'll find them though this summer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. After Halloween.
Yes.
When you're decorating for Christmas.
Probably they're probably
That's-
in the Christmas totes. Actually, now that you say that, they probably are in there because you take the Christmas stuff out, you
Right.
put the other stuff away.
Sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you're probably not wrong. I'll get
glad
back
I
to you
could
on
help.
that.
Yeah, let me know.
I will.
Let me know how that works out
Yeah.
for you.
Well, you
Couple
know,
weeks.
speaking of that, the day after Halloween is when you should be putting up your Christmas decorations.
No, the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm the day after Thanksgiving.
Day after Thanksgiving.
Oh,
yeah,
I love
that's too
Christmas.
long.
No,
Too long.
that's just
I love
fun.
Christmas, but
Yeah.
it's like my favorite. We go all out in decorating, but it's too much. I need my house back.
That's when
Yeah.
the Christmas music starts playing and
Not
the
in my house. It's playing in
stores.
June.
Yes.
No.
It's early
Yes.
in my house.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't snow. I mean, I'm good with that.
I like
We
snow
need
for
snow this year.
Christmas.
No, it's snow for Christmas, but yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully
I'm
not
over
for
it after
Halloween.
that. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
okay
we'll
with
I
see.
don't know.
So in the spirit of Hallows Eve, we picked some, I'm going to call them scary stories from the road. And I know you guys got a sneak peek.
We
watched
did.
some videos, and there will be sources in the notes, so be sure to check them out. But let's get started with those, huh?
Yeah, let's do it.
So the first one we picked was the story of Patrick Kearney, who is known as the trash bag killer or the freeway killer. He's known for killing at least 21 young men and boys, but is suspected of killing over 43. Horrible.
Yeah.
This
Terrible.
one was hard to watch. Like,
Yeah, very.
I mean, it just kind of made me cringe, you know?
Right.
Yes.
He was born in September of 1939
Right.
in East LA to a stable middle-class family. He was the oldest of 3 sons. And, yeah, I think it really started in school
Right.
with some
Yeah.
bullying. Thin guy, sickly looking.
But he was, he went on to have like a normal kind of a life other than being bullied, but he just mentally just wasn't all there, I believe.
Yeah, he kind of
Yeah.
kept it to himself.
Right. Kind of a loner.
Held it all in.
People didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he appeared to be normal, but
Right.
Yeah,
not on the inside.
until he withdrew.
It sounds like he was like actually kind of a smart guy.
Oh, very.
Like, he had a mechanical background and an engineer, and he was
Yeah.
in the military. And,
Yeah.
so I don't think he was dumb by any means. I think he was actually really probably a very intelligent person. But,
Yeah, maybe just a little socially awkward
Right.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
a target.
Right.
School's
Yeah.
brutal.
It
Oh.
is brutal.
People
Absolutely.
can be horrible.
Right.
He did work as an engineer. He moved to Texas, got married. He worked for Hughes Aircraft. Later, he divorced. He moved back to California, which is really where he kind of cultivated his skill as a gay pickup artist. He used his fluency in Spanish to his advantage. And in 1967, he moved to Redondo Beach with his lover at the time, David Hill. It goes on to talk about, like, when Kearney and Hill would get into fights, Kearney would kind of take off for hours at a time, driving. He had a couple vehicles, I guess, a little Volkswagen Beetle truck.
So I didn't see this in here, but did his lover, did he not know any of this was going on
I don't remember seeing anything in there.
about him? Yeah.
No. I don't think
Yeah.
he knew.
Right.
It sounds like when he was on the road or when he would be going around is when it happened. So I suppose if Hill was
know.
back at home.
Probably had
Just
no
didn't know.
idea. But,
Yeah.
like, at some point, there's some talk about how, like, when he would persuade victims into his vehicle, he'd bring them back to his house, sometimes waiting until he got home to kill them. So where's Hill? But other times killing them in his vehicle.
Yeah.
So, like, how do
you clean that up?
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he had the plastic on the seats.
Get
Yeah.
a
Like a
different
tarp
vehicle
or
every time.
something, or
Maybe.
New
took them
vehicles.
to remote areas and then maybe killed them at that time.
Sure.
But I don't know. He's very, very
It did say in there that this it must stem from the bullying because it said that his victims often resembled his
Yeah,
victims.
his bulliers. Yeah.
Yeah, his bulliers. Yep.
Yeah.
right.
That's what I meant.
Yeah,
I have a really hard time wrapping my head around that. Like, I know bullying is real, and I know that their targets sometimes do really struggle to not just cope with it, but move beyond it.
Yep.
And oftentimes, the people closest to them have no idea it's
idea.
even happening, so nobody is there to help.
right.
Not that I would excuse this, right?
Right.
I mean, this is absolutely
yes.
horrible. You
Yeah.
still know the difference between right and wrong.
Right.
And this is so extreme.
Right. No, and I think that's, probably what, he's got so much that he has done and been through, and how he can do all this without getting caught right away. He probably perfected his craft of being a serial killer.
Oh,
but
for sure.
It took a long time for them to catch him.
The first murder he
Yeah.
committed was in 1962. The first one he ever confessed to and was convicted of was in 1968. So we got a 6-year gap there.
Right.
So it was after about a year after he moved in with Hill. So a year after he had moved in with Hill. He lured a victim into his vehicle, took him home before shooting him, and sexually assaulting him. He skinned and dismembered that victim before removing the bullet from his head to avoid having it traced back to him. Like, he really thought things through. Then the identity of that victim is still unknown, for the record. But it was after that murder, he was so scared of getting caught that he stopped for an entire year.
Yep.
Yep. And then I think it had said in 1974 is when he started killing more frequently, where it was one victim a month.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Right.
No.
And all these people that are just disappearing. I mean, there must have been a lot of missing person cases out there.
For
and
sure.
Yeah. I mean, the police department has got to be overwhelmed with how many boys are just disappearing.
Well, and was this in one area, or where was this all?
I think it was
Southern California?
All Southern
it was all within
California.
the same area.
Yeah. Yeah, because on the video they show a map of where all of his victims were, so
that's
it's
right.
all pretty close area.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is like a 15-year span. 1977 is
When
he was
He was
caught.
caught. Yeah. So,
So it was
that is a long time.
It was the 3 years that he really went on
Yeah.
the
Right.
streak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And all of his victims, like, he really thought this out. I mean, he knew that if he didn't want to be caught, he thought about forensics, right? I mean, removing a bullet, dismembering them, putting them in trash bags, dumping them in
Various
desolate
locations.
areas.
Yeah.
remote
Right.
locations.
He admitted to what he did when they finally did catch him, right?
He did, but I think so. He admitted to 21 of the
them.
murders,
Yep.
but they suspect there's 43.
Over
Right.
43,
At least, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So he only, well, I guess we don't know for sure, but he confessed to.
And he's still in prison. He's still alive, correct?
I don't know that for sure.
Because if he's
either.
1939, my math isn't very well, but how old would he be?
Oh, I'm terrible at math.
39. So I don't know. I suppose that'd be
Somebody
like
get a calculator out.
70. So you got 61 plus 24. This is a lot of
Carry the 2, the answer's 10.
87. It has got to be in his 80s, I would assume.
So maybe not still.
Yeah. But I think I think he is still alive because they're
Well, he
still
would be 80,
studying
like
him.
87 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, I was thinking about it and I'm like, why would they not put a serial killer on the death penalty, right? You've got all these other people who have are on death row in California for maybe one murder or something like that. And this guy has literally been sitting in jail this whole time, but he did plead guilty. And so part of his plea was he didn't
avoid
get
the death penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big serial.
Even for him, like, why? Why would you not want the death penalty at that point? Like, I want to. When he was caught, he wasn't that old.
1977,
For not even
1939.
40.
Yeah, that's a long time
Yeah.
to be living.
Why would you
38
want to
years old.
spend the rest of your life in prison? What do you think is going to be so great in prison
Yeah.
that you want to spend another 40 years in there?
I wonder how many prisoners are missing from this prison.
Good question. So, that prison being Mule Creek State Prison in California. Yeah.
And he went 15 years without anybody even suspecting him. So,
Yeah.
he's out there amongst us in a normal life.
Yeah.
And just makes you wonder what your neighbors are up to.
Oh my gosh,
That's
there is
creepy.
a show on I think it's on ID.
Yeah.
And it's called like The Nightmare Next Door. Real stories. There
Yeah, I
too.
don't think I'm going to watch those. No.
They're creepy.
I'm good.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you really just never know.
Yeah.
I hope my neighbors are as good as they seem.
Yeah, I like
I've
my
got
neighbors.
great- yeah,
I have
I've
really
got
good
great
neighbors.
neighbors.
Yeah. And they all have kids, and hopefully, fingers
You
crossed.
never know.
All right. How about Robert Rhoades?
Robert Rhoades, the truck stop killer.
Yeah.
Yes.
That guy confirmed to have tortured and killed at least 2 couples and suspected of killing more than 50 women.
Right.
Ugh.
And he's a hard one because if he's a truck driver and multi-state, you could do something over here and you're over here, they're not going to suspect that you did this. So,
And actually, out of our stories today, this one, it was a truck driver.
yes.
Yep.
Bringing a bad name to y'all. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
But like Patrick Kearney, he was not. or at least not that we know of. He was driving around in his Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Or
Anywho.
Yep.
Sorry, random.
You know, he was married and had a wife or whatever, but it looks like his crimes spree spanned 15 years as well, from the mid 70s to 1990. And he would pick up hitchhikers and abduct them and whatnot, which, you know, back in the 70s, hitchhiking was quite common. You don't see it
for sure.
very much now.
Yeah, let's all love one another.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
I never see a hitchhiker, but, you know, I'm not all over the country either.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more predominant in other areas. Hitchhiker in Minnesota in the middle of December probably isn't going to happen. A little cold walking out there.
A little chilly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Definitely
So
want a jacket.
this guy, a little different background
Yeah.
too. Like born and raised in Iowa by
Yep.
his mother for the most part. His father was stationed in Germany.
Yep. He was involved in a lot of extracurriculars.
Yeah.
Involved in
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, probably had a
Doesn't
lot
look
of
like
friends.
he was bullied. Yeah.
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 But this one's different too because he has a background.
Right.
The other person did not.
Nothing super crazy.
No, but
he was
has
getting into
a
trouble
little
as a
bit.
teenager.
At 16,
Right.
yeah.
Tampering with a vehicle,
And then fighting.
fighting.
Well, and then his it sounded like his dad had a little bit of a background too.
Yeah, that's
So his
right.
dad had done some pretty bad things and then committed suicide. So I mean,
Yeah.
you've got to believe that probably had an effect on him
for
too,
sure.
Yeah.
for
I
his
can't
mental
imagine.
wise. Right?
Yeah. So he had joined the Marine Corps when all that was happening, right? His dad was
Yep.
arrested for molesting a 12-year-old girl.
So I mean, maybe they got a crazy little family going on there. Yes.
Yeah, but it looks like he was dishonorably discharged from the Marine Corps because of robbery. So he has
Yeah.
more of a history.
Right.
More legal troubles.
Yep.
Right.
Tried to get it together.
No.
Went to college. Though he dropped out.
Yep.
Yeah. Had a
Tried
couple,
to join law enforcement. He was
Yep.
rejected.
had random jobs before he started trucking.
Yeah.
At what age, I wonder, did he start trucking? Do we know that?
I don't think I do.
Yeah, it didn't really say.
Married 3 times. Son with his first wife.
Yeah, and then assaulted his third wife. So that probably didn't end good.
Yeah.
I'm guessing not.
No.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
So he definitely has a history.
Yeah.
His crime spanned for quite some time, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
1975 to 1990.
Yeah. Another
That's
15-year
a
run.
Yep.
long run
It
without
is.
being caught.
Yeah.
Right.
But I suppose when you're traveling all over and harder to catch you.
And some of the same like targets. Kearney was the same way. Like he would target hitchhikers.
Yeah.
He also targeted like gay bars and
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would pick people
Right.
up from there.
But for Rhoades, it was hitchhikers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tortured, raped his victims
Yeah.
before killing them.
Yeah.
He'd keep women sometimes in the sleeper
Oh,
for weeks
that is
Right.
just,
before killing and dumping their
Yeah.
bodies.
that's terrible.
That's horrible. It's terrifying. Absolutely
is.
terrifying.
And he's still alive, too, isn't he? It looks like he is. He's still serving his
Oh,
time.
yeah. Menard Correctional Center in Illinois.
Is that, where was he from again?
Iowa.
Iowa. Do we know how he got picked up or how he got found?
How he got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember.
How they finally
what
caught
they
up with
said.
him after that many. Because that's a very long span.
Right.
Same thing. I don't know if did he even confess?
I don't know.
I don't know. It doesn't say how he
So
got
there's
caught.
another question for
Right.
you. Like, well, I don't know what states all have the death penalty, I guess, but
Right. Minnesota doesn't.
Right, but did he
I don't
plead
think there's very
guilty?
many
How
that do.
many did they charge him with?
Did they find all of the victims?
Right.
No. There's probably still some missing out there today.
Yeah.
What
Sad
if he's
deal.
talked? Like this talking about him, about all of these, really makes me like I want to go learn more and find out what happened, and I don't know why.
Just
Yeah.
a curious mind.
Right?
I guess
Yeah.
I wonder how many like victims' families are still waiting
Waiting
to
for answers.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you don't hear a whole lot about current serial killers.
Sure.
And I wonder if because of the DNA or the more current forensics and stuff have really up there that maybe we're just catching them before they can become serial killers, or they're just not out there and we just don't know about them yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so much more out there to be able to identify things and catch people with forensics and just the technology and how it's progressed. It's
Thank God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Harder to be a serial killer.
Yes.
Right?
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Less of those out there, please.
Yeah.
Scary.
Okay. Last one.
Yeah.
This one, we saved this one for last, really, because we don't know. We don't know who this is.
Yeah.
Right.
Where they're at. We don't have enough, really, to...
Right.
And it's kind of a crazy case.
Yeah.
You know, it all happened around that I-70,
Yeah.
Indiana, Illinois,
Kansas.
Missouri.
off that.
Yeah.
But he would randomly just go in and shoot somebody and walk out of little mom and pop shops.
And people saw him.
Yeah,
Really?
absolutely.
People heard gunshots.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And this is more recent. I mean, this isn't that.
The 90s.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
much more recent than the other ones.
92, I think, is
Yeah.
when it...
Yeah. And it was, I think there was one guy, but I think they were all women, petite women. And so I don't know, like,
Petite brunettes.
do you...
There was one dude, and they believe
Glad
it was
I'm blonde.
because... they believe it was because the guy that was shot and killed had long hair.
Yes.
So
He had a ponytail.
mistaken
so
identity,
mistaken.
maybe.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about he or she killed 6 store clerks, but the descriptions that were given by witnesses were definitely white male.
Yes. Yeah. And
Slender build,
if
thin
you watch the
lips.
podcast, it has a picture of like a sketching drawing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
have on
Yep.
there of what it is. But then also this was back, you know, they made that in the 90s. He could be totally different now. Or,
Yeah, sure.
you know,
Aged.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, the 90s, as much as I'd like to think it wasn't that long ago.
No.
Right.
I mean,
It's just a couple years ago.
yeah.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
No.
I'm still listening to TLC.
Yes.
Yes. But then,
Yeah.
you know, also, if they have the forensic that we have now, I mean, they probably still have the bullets and they probably still have all of that stuff that he used to maybe they could, you know.
Well, did you know
find
here that
something.
it said that there was a book claims the FBI has information about who the killer is.
Oh, really?
So they might have some leads on it.
Dun, dun, dun.
So there's a book for you to
Yes.
read, Lori.
Intrigued.
Right?
You know, I used to love reading.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now I just like...
Don't have time.
No.
I know.
And when I do,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Kind of like the craft things. Yeah.
Right. Sounds good.
Sounds fun.
I pick out a book.
And then it doesn't work out. I know. I have
No.
the same book I've started 3 times in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not happening.
Brutal.
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Yes. But there's you know, it just goes to show that it's, I mean, you can have serial killers all over the country, and there's many more podcasts on
Oh, yeah.
people who have done stuff and haven't gotten caught, or how they've gotten caught.
Yeah.
But with a spooky Halloween theme, I'm sure
Yeah.
there's many more that are interesting as
Oh,
well.
for
Can
sure.
you imagine how many Halloween ones there are? I bet there's a lot.
I bet.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all.
Halloween's
ID.
creepy. Yeah.
Watch that channel.
Right?
So many good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I haven't
Oh,
watched
there's-
much of it, but
Yeah.
Little's in the house. It doesn't mix well.
Yeah.
Gotta watch it at the right time.
Yep. Before bed is usually when I do it. Which
I don't want to watch
Like,
it
kinda
before
creepy.
bed because then I'm
But
sitting
I
in
totally
bed.
do. I'm
and
laying
yeah.
in bed.
No.
And
Yeah.
Then you don't
Did I lock
sleep.
the door?
Yeah, what is that sound?
Yes.
I thank my husband
Yeah,
for
no.
not beating or murdering me. Thank you. Thank you for being
Let's hope I
good.
wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't know who you guys are married to, but well, those are wrong people.
I mean, we're still here. aren't we?
Right.
Yeah. We did good.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. But that's, it's scary stuff out there. It just
It
tells you
really
how
is.
weird this world is and how you got to really be very vigilant, you know?
Especially as people who are always on the road.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Drivers out there. I mean, you really have to stay alert, be aware of your surroundings.
Right? I even do that in St. Cloud. You know,
Yeah.
like if
Oh,
I
for
go
sure.
to the grocery store or something, I'm always kind of watching my back
looking
to
over your
make sure.
shoulder.
Yeah.
Parking in well-lit areas.
Right.
Absolutely.
Making sure you're letting people know where you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, always talking to
Yeah.
somebody.
Yep.
locking your doors.
Right.
Always.
Yeah.
There's people out there that don't do that.
That
My uncle is
don't.
terrible.
That's crazy to me. Like, I cannot imagine locking my house door or even my car door. Like, yeah, I know I'm not in my vehicle, but I still lock it.
Yeah, my
Right?
garage door opener.
Yeah.
Door opener is in there. I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
Gotta lock it.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
And how
to
much
me.
personal information is in your car? Maybe your insurance card is in there with your name on it, or did you leave a receipt from somewhere?
Yeah.
I think that they could probably do a lot of, and we know people personally who have had their car
Yeah.
broken
Oh, yeah.
into,
Yeah.
and identity theft and all of that stuff. So we really do got to be vigilant and making sure that you are locking up everything. Yeah.
We got some good tips too, like for our drivers out there, not walking between trailers in the dark, places that nobody's going to notice.
Yeah.
Or reporting suspicious activity. If you see something, say something.
Talk to
It could
people,
help somebody.
let them know where you are.
Yep. Yeah.
I know we actually had a driver, and I'm sure there's more like this, but they had the 360
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
app and shared their location with their driver manager.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if they ever needed, if something seemed off.
Yep.
They would get alerted. So
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've done welfare calls.
For sure. Have
a lot
somebody
of
go
time
check.
because I'm worried about my driver. I haven't heard from him today. This is not,
Not normal.
Not normal.
Yeah.
So we will definitely
Yeah.
call the local authorities. Hey, can you just run over and check
Yeah.
on this guy? And a
Yeah.
lot of times, just
Everything's
overslept,
fine. Yeah.
whatever. But
Which is good. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is, the best case scenario is,
Yeah. For
sure.
whatever. But, we definitely want to make sure that our drivers are good out there, and we will check up on you.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go to I will hound you and call your phone
I know.
19 times.
We're probably driving them crazy
Yes.
too. Like they're
Right.
trying to sleep or something, and we're
Right.
hitting
Ding,
redial
ding,
because we're
yep.
freaking out.
Yes, but
Been
then,
there before.
I have to.
Just reply,
More than
I'm
Remember
fine.
when we had the Qualcomms before the tablets? Like you could send an urgent
Code
message,
9. I
and
think
it would
you can
like
still do that.
Just
Yes.
keep,
and it would beep.
yeah.
Beep.
Nonstop.
Beep.
Yeah.
Beep. Yeah.
Which again they probably hated, but
Probably.
we had
We care.
good intentions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we care.
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely. Yes. Well, when your drivers are like family, you worry about them. And so you want them to be out there and you want them to be fine, and hopefully nothing is wrong. But, there have been times where, it didn't turn out the way we had hoped or, whatever it is. But we just wanted to make sure that, we're
Always checking
Yeah,
knowing where
everybody's
they
up there.
are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Definitely.
it's not always the case. So
Right.
it is important that we're looking out for each other.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We'll put some notes for information on trafficking prevention in here as well, so you guys can check those out. Next episode, we want to hear. Next month is Thanksgiving, and thinking about being thankful and things that make your life good. It often revolves around family, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sometimes you find a home with your job too. So there are things to be thankful for there. And so we started kicking around. I know we've been talking about this a lot, but the driver experience and how do we create, as an organization, how do we create the best driver experience we can?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I would like to hear from all of our drivers and even those that are not with ATS, what a positive driver experience looks like to you when picking an organization or staying with a company.
Yep.
Like, what does it take? And what gets you to stay? What makes you go? And whether they're individuals you work with directly or individuals you work with indirectly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So stay tuned for that. We'll talk about that next month. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was fun.
Yeah. Thanks
Kinda.
for-
I mean, a little
Thanks
crazy.
for inviting us.
Little
Yeah,
gross.
a little bit. That's okay.
But good conversation.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I love the
Thank
candy
you.
talk. I'm going to go back and have some candy
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
I like it. I'm kind of hungry.
We
Yeah.
have candy all over in our aisles.
I love it.
There's
Yes.
candy.
People that
so
have candy
grateful.
dishes,
everywhere.
I am grateful for
Yes.
that.
Yeah, there's quite a few of
Very
them too.
thankful for
Yeah,
that.
Sweet Tooth.
Yes.
Oh,
Take
yeah.
a walk.
Yes.
Yep.
Pick a row, any
It's
row.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably ain't gonna find no candy corn though, or circus
peanuts. You will. I bet you anything somebody will bring them.
Right. Circus peanuts?
Circus peanuts?
No, like candy corn.
How did that even
I'm going to
start?
bring candy corn and just put it on your desk. A bowl of it.
I'm going to chuck them at you when you're not looking. All right.
And
until
HR,
next time.
I hope you see this. All right.
Thank you. Well,
Thanks,
thank you.